Okay, so we're battery building here. So like I said, we're building two packs. He's building one and I'm building one. So it's gonna be 10 in this way. And I'm gonna build the last parallel row here together with my friend to connect his positive side on the downside. So basically, if you imagine that next one went up there, but we're gonna fold it upside down so that we can stack them on top of each other with some plastic and heat shrink and a lot of things to protect that they can't short out. So yeah, that's what we're doing. 2:30 in the morning I thought it was 1 o'clock. But yeah, my wife is away, she's working night, and we're having fun here with beer and batteries. So you can see, one of those takes a whole line. That's 21 batteries. Welcome back to the day after. So this is one of the two blocks we built last night, and we're pretty okay now after all the beer. And all of these lines here, the parallel lines that I'm building, has been tested about 63.6 to 7 amp hours. And the problem is that some of these cells were tested a month ago and some of them were tested yesterday. So my guess is that if we would put one line of nickel here all over, then some of these batteries are going to be higher in voltage and some of them are going to be lower. So actually it would be really dangerous right now to start parallel connecting these. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this top off, and what I'm going to do afterwards is that I got I got two more testers yesterday from China, and I have this parallel charger also with this IMAX B6, probably a copy, I think it is, I don't know. And so I'm going to take each row and I'm going to make sure that the voltage on all of these are exactly the same. So basically using my multimeter, testing that each cell is at 3.3 to 3.4. It can be 100 millivolts away, but not more. And so I'm going to do each row here and make sure that they are exactly at the same voltage. Not that this has to be 3. If this is 3.5 and this is 3.2, that's okay. But then all of them has to be 3.5 at that line. So yeah, I'm going to use a balance charger then, or balancing lines for my BMS to make sure that they're actually correct. I mean that they balance each other out in voltage. So yeah, that's the project of today. Taking this off, testing the voltage, lowering some and making some higher so that they are exactly the same. And I'm going to use these, and so now I have 16 plus these, so I have 16 plus 15, and making just sure that they're exactly at the same voltage, and then putting the line back and then starting with the next line and so forth. So that's the project right now. See you later. Okay, so now I got the top off, and I just want to say that it isn't just to lift this off, because they kind of get stuck in, especially since I have a little bit of tape on some of these. They kind of tend to stick on, and so when you put that on, it's actually quite rigid as a construction. It won't just pop off. Of course, the weight, if you hold it in some direction, it's over 10 kilos. So yeah, it's going to be, yeah, they are going to pop if you hold it in one hand over there, but yeah, they could fly everywhere. So I was really careful, just pushing it a little bit from the side and then using the other hand to pop the ones down that wouldn't follow along up, and just slowly made my way through. And now a little bit over to safety. As you can see, I don't have my finger here, or I have my finger, but I don't have my ring here. So there is nothing there. I have plastic under here to make sure that there's no metal things around. And I just want to say that when you have a cell like this, they're mostly harmless. It's, of course, you can still short them out and it could be bad. But getting one of these to fire up now, when you have all of them in such close proximity, that could lead to a hellishly big fire. So we need to be real careful. And therefore, I have my glasses on, and we're also going to use rubber gloves now, because now we're getting into territory which is actually quite dangerous. So be very careful, balance each row and then put them back. Take the next one, measure the voltage, balance them out, and then in all the way through. And I hope this won't take too much time, because they actually take a lot of current when they're at low charge. Some of them could be at 4. So it's also really important that I do this, so that I don't have like 4, 3.0 or 3.3, and then current would flow from these two batteries to those at an extreme extreme pace. And that would probably, well, maybe these would catch fire and these would catch fire. And then the fire, when it goes over, I think it's 190 degrees Celsius, it would just, spread over these, and that battery fire would be impossible to kill. So yeah, I have precautions here that I can just run out there. If something would happen, I just take the battery pack and just toss it out. But usually when they're single cells and if I have a parallel connection, they're not dangerous yet. What happens is that it's when I start making these series connections over here and then over here. And of course on the other side here under to connect first these two to those two and then so forth. Then that's when it's going to get real dangerous. So I can work with these inside to balance them out, but when I start welding on things, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to pick a table, I'm going to sit in my yard, so if something happens, at least it won't happen in my wooden house. That would be a real bad situation. So yeah, let's get going. I realized this is going to take quite a long time when I realized that I find these 4 volts, up at 4 volts. So I balanced all of these to 3.4, but the first row is still discharging and it says 3.6, and as you can see it's taken almost 2 hours there. And then I have the second row, I have balanced all of these to 3.4 and I have 2 missing, which are those. And then I realized if this is going to take hours and hours and hours and hours, so I might as well use all of these. So this is number 3, and I don't have anything balancing on number 3 since I didn't find anything for 4 volts. Then I have one at line number 4, and that one is there, and I haven't even started balancing those out. So I'm at line number 3 balancing those out. These are 3.4 already, and I'm balancing these up to 3.4, and these are basically done. So I'm going to start with these after I take these up to 3.4 because I didn't have space. I wish I would have put one more here, so I could have done 20 at least, but yeah, don't have that, so I'll just have to wait and work on that. So this is taking hours and hours and hours and hours, and when I have discharged all of those, so I found 6 of them at line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, those are the 6 missing there. So yeah, it's just to discharge everything, get everything in balance, and then finally start welding on the parallel rows on these. So that's gonna be nice, but it takes time, a lot of time. And voila, we have a battery pack. So minus plus, minus plus, minus plus, minus plus, minus plus, and the next step is I'm gonna put the parallel rows on one side, and then I'm gonna mark which one is negative and positive, because when I put the nickel strips up here, these will be hidden, so I won't know. So it's important that I can actually see those. So I'm gonna put markings on each side, which one is positive and minus on the side here. But we're gonna do that after putting everything, all the nickel up here. So when I switch it around, I'll be able to see, because of course if the positive is down here, that's the negative, and so forth. So yeah, I'm gonna do it now immediately because I don't want the voltages to drop on some and get them unbalanced again. So I'll have to work tonight and get this done, probably, hopefully not too late. So the next step is getting my nickel in place. Yeah, 110 gram parallel. I could probably take smaller because I mean this is just to balance each cell out here. The thick ones has to go over here because that's what's driving the current all the way through the battery pack. But I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm just going to put the parallel lines first because that's what I read in a book. That's the way to do it. First you put the parallels and then you put the series.